video will change everything you've heard about landing a remote job. Landing an international remote job as a Nigerian living in Nigeria has been hidden behind one-on-one consultations, courses, paid membership, digital products until now. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through how to actually land an international remote job as a Nigerian living in Nigeria, even if you are starting from zero. And you might be like, why, Rita, why are you giving out so much information for free? That is because, first of all, there are many people have asked me different questions about how to land international remote jobs, seeing that I myself have landed international remote job and clients, and I've made thousands of dollars. So instead of making different, I've made different video pieces and bits of videos here and there, walking people through how to get this thing started. But I decided to make one comprehensive full course for free that will walk you through from beginner, from zero experience to actually landing your first clients and making your first $1,500, as the case may be. And secondly, obviously, I cannot apply or get all the jobs, work all the remote jobs in this world. There's just only one me. And it just makes sense that why gatekeep an information that can literally change someone else's life. So that's the reason I'm making this video. So in this video is going to be nothing like you have heard before. You are going to understand how the remote job landscape works and how to actually land an international remote job as a Nigerian living in Nigeria. You have zero experience. This is beyond watching TikTok videos on top 10 websites to find remote job. This will give you every information you need, starting from beginning, how to land international remote job as a Nigerian living in Nigeria, making your first $1,000 on the internet. So if that sounds like what you're interested in, get your sheet of paper, get your notepad, get a pen, get your notebook or your notebook app, and let's get started. So without further ado, let's dive in. So first of all, I'm going to walk you through a sheet that I created to make this very interactive, and I'm going to walk you through everything so that there is zero confusion. The kind of remote job you should apply for, how to become the top remote job candidate, and where to find international remote jobs, and how to apply for international remote jobs. So these are the things we are going to be, walking you through. So let's get started. So first of all, what kind of job should you be applying for? Like, this is the first step, and this is where a lot of people end up, with scammers, because they do not have a skill, they don't know anything, so they just want to, you see where someone talks about, oh, how to get a remote job, how to work from home as a mom, and all of that, and people just get deceived. But this is where to start from. Realistically, truthfully, you have to start from what kind of job should you apply for. And if you are starting from zero, maybe you just finished school, or you're a stay-at-home mom, you've not worked before, you don't have experience, what kind of job should you apply for? So first of all, we are going to be looking at your interest. Everybody has something. So it doesn't matter if you've not worked before, if you don't have a skill and all of that. You're going to start from your interest. What do you like to do? What makes you happy? Like, what do you do? What can you do without even getting paid for? What do you not mind doing, even if you don't get paid for it, that you can 100% do? So we have to find your interest first of all. It is very important. When I started, I know that I'm someone who likes to put my ideas out there. I'm a critical thinker, and I like to put my ideas out there. And I just used to write for fun. I write in my notepad. So I discovered that this is an interest that I had and I could explore. I didn't have a previous experience of like really writing the way I was. I have not, when I got my first remote job, that was my first time working for a company, a business outside of my local environment. It was a company in Europe. So I didn't have an experience doing that before, but I was able to get a job and work on the job. So it's about finding your interest. So once you understand your interest and your capabilities, understanding your abilities, what can you do? What can you do? And everybody has something that they can do. It's just for you to actually find that thing that you can do. So now we are going to so if you know your interest, you have to create a list of your interests, a list of your abilities. Then if you already have a skill, maybe you already have something you like to do. In my own situation, I like to express myself. I was already writing, but nothing official. I wasn't getting results or anything like that. Then the other thing, you have to find your thing. You have to find your thing. What can I do? Because we are all different and we are all unique, and there's something that we can do more than the average person. And if you absolutely cannot figure that out, maybe I don't have any interest, I don't think I have ability, like you don't know anything you have to do, the best thing for you to do is to go and acquire skill. If you don't have any skill, go online and try to acquire an in-demand skill. So there are two, when it comes to acquiring skill, people just talk about, oh, go and get a course, yeah, or just go and buy a course or go to school. So now the first thing I want to tell you that anybody at any point in their life can actually acquire an in-demand skill. Now there are situations, if you have money, yes, taking a course might be a faster route, but if you do not have the money, you can still 100% acquire a skill without spending any money. So you can either go the free route or the paid route. So this is what we call, I refer to as, this is what I refer to as the free route. This is the free route, and there is also the paid route. So the free route, you can just go on YouTube. I call it YouTube University. You can go on YouTube and just type in maybe content writing or graphic design. The essence is for you to just understand what this whole space is like, not like taking courses and all of this stuff. First of all, understand what it's like, understand the concept. So you can also, even now we have AI, you can go on any AI chatbot, ChatGPT, Claude, whatever it is, and say, I want to learn content writing. I want to learn social media management. I don't have experience. How can I go? Give me a 30-day plan. Give me a 90-day learning plan with action, blah, blah, blah. And it will create a learning plan for you, and you can go and start watching free videos. Now, this is where most people get wrong. They just get a course, pay for a course, and watch videos. But watching a course, taking courses, watching videos, buying courses is not all there is to actually learning an in-demand skill. Because even if you learned how to do something, you do not know how to do something because you actually took a course. You know how to do something because you've actually done it and you did it well. So once you take a course, whatever you are being taught, or even if you are learning self-learning on YouTube, whatever you are being taught, put it into practice. That is how you learn. That is the best way to learn. Like School of Hard Knocks. You have to go out there and actually do the work. A lot of people are scared to just be out there, so they'll rather hide in on the background of, I'm taking a course, so to feel like they're actually doing something when you know you're actually doing nothing. So if you have 0 naira, you don't have any money, I will advise that you go to ChatGPT, go and type, this is what you want to learn, this is how long, this is when you have actually discovered your interests and abilities. And I actually have a video on YouTube, this video right here. I talked about how to discover your niche, how to find your interests, abilities, and all of that. So this video talks about that in like greater detail. Yeah. So yeah, that's what this video like was about, majorly about. So once you have gotten a course, just like what I'm saying, like this is how to start. Once you have discovered what your skill, your interest is, maybe say you like to write, then you want to now formally, I like to write is not a skill. You have to learn, maybe you want to learn content writing, you want to learn copywriting, you want to learn marketing, content marketing, you want to learn full circle marketing. This is how to start. Get a learning plan. If you want to self-learn, learn and practice. This is very important. So I'm emphasizing on practicing this skill because that is what will actually make you good. You don't know something by just taking a course. So because how good you are in doing one thing will determine how much you can make. So let's say you took a course right now. So you took a course. So these are two people. This is what 99% of people actually do. So they will go take a course and they just acquire the skill, then they start looking for clients. The first thing to do after acquiring a skill is not to just start looking for clients. It's for you look for avenues to practice. Some people are scared of, I don't want to be used, or I don't want to work for free. You have to normalize being used. You have to normalize working for free when you are just starting out. Why? Because you need validation for your skill. You've learned something. You need people to say yes to you. And every yes is a win. It doesn't matter if you are going to be earning $100, 0 naira, $1,000. Every yes is a win. And when you are just starting out, someone saying, okay, get on board as an intern, as a volunteer, do this thing for me for free, because free can be expensive. I wouldn't, even if you're going to be doing a service for me for free, working for me for free, if I don't see the value in that thing you're doing, it's still expensive to me because you're wasting my time looking when I can easily pay someone to get this job done and I don't have to look at it a second time. So if someone says yes to you, even if they don't pay you, it is a win, it is a validation. I think this is what you have to put in your mind. This is what differentiates the 1% from the 99% of people who are constantly chasing $5. So if you are going to be on this level, want to make more money, like landing remote job, international remote job and client, this is the path you have to follow. Once you acquire the skill, you want to start to practice, take up free gigs. Like this is the most important part. It is the hard part. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is the hard part, but it is the most important part. It's to determine how much you're going to make. And then I have something I do. You have to condense your training phase. So if you're starting taking a course or just finished taking, you want to start practicing. Now, if you're taking a course on social media, content creation, social media management, you don't wait until you finish all of the videos before you start going about, oh, then you start applying for social media roles. It's not going to work like that. The most sensible thing to do is actually you take a course, you are learning, create a social media account, you learn about how to create content. Actually create content. Like whatever you are learning, you have to put it in practice. At that point, you're not earning anything. Nobody's paying you. If you can manage a business, a family and friends business, social media account, that is a great thing. Forget about money. This is not the point. This is not the time to talk about how much to earn. I've worked for years, I've worked for a period of time and earned nothing. Because I just needed an opportunity to practice my skill. I needed someone to say yes to me. That is the first win. Getting someone to say yes to your skill, to whatever you see you can do. That is the first win. So that is the first you're going to do. So when you get people to say, your first person to say yes, even if you're working for free, your goal is when you do this stuff to put in all your effort. Do it like you are going to be paid $1,000. So if you do it, even if the person doesn't pay you, payment is not important. You can tell the person, please, can you refer me to someone else who needs my services? Or the person might now want to pay going forward. Or you have that sample, the success, because you need results, you need reviews. The person can, oh, how did it work for you? What was the result? That enthusiasm, that result, that is what you are going to now take to start looking for other jobs. So you see how people do things differently, but this is how it actually works. So when you even get your first client, you have to keep doing the work. Like you need to put in is quantity at this point. You want to, because you have to be prolific at what you do. You can't say you're a content writer and the last time you wrote was 2 months ago. It has to be every day. People are like, oh, should I write every day? Oh, I'm a graphic designer. Should I design every day? It's like saying I have a store, I sell food. Should I go to my shop every day? Like it's just when you're starting out, you need numbers. You need like I have a rule. If you have not done 100, if you're a content creator, you're starting out, you're taking a course on content creation, you want to start out, if you have not put out 100 pieces of content, then you cannot say whether or not this thing is working, whether or not, because you don't have data. So at this point, you want to build up data so that after the first 90 days, after the first, 100 days, you can say, okay, what is working, what is not working. But if you don't have the data, you cannot even access anything. You cannot say what what or not is not working. That is the first thing. So once you get your first job, free, just talk about free, get the result, get the first one, two, three, four, then you can now start charging other people because you have results, you have the validation that yes, what you're doing has an impact on a business or whatever. So that is the first thing. And you want to keep at this, you want to keep on that trajectory. You want to put in that quantity. That is what it is. So once you that might get your first $100, you want to put in that reps. That is how you make your first $1,000. So it's just about skill. So I use this to represent the skill, the green, and the black to represent the income. The more skilled you are, the more results you get, the more money you can make on this phase. So a lot of people just get to the entry point. Oh, maybe they just learned virtual assistant, they got their first client, and they just stay there. You need to keep improving your skill and you do it in the shortest period ever. Keep getting better, keep learning. And you cannot learn it. Keep learning is not keep taking more courses. I will say it like keep learning is keep practicing. The more you do, the better you get. Like that is just it. So this is what a lot of people we do. So if you actually keep at this, if you just stay here, you are not going to make any money. So that's why people just stay here and earn the same amount of money for a long period of time, and they don't get to live above that entry level mark because they are not getting better. So the goal at this phase is, once you've discovered what your interest is, your ability, you've acquired the skill. This is the most important thing. You need to start practicing your skill to move up from entry level to like mid level, or to be one of the top 1% in your industry. Now, this is the first phase and it's very important. So I'm going to put in a video of how to find your niche, how to do all of those things. That is because most people always, if you skip this part, if you skip the part of actually acquiring an in-demand digital skill, it's going to be a lot difficult for you. So because you're going to be looking for, remote job without experience, remote job you can do with your phone, all of this stuff. It's not like they don't exist. They are very small. There are just very few jobs you can do if you don't have experience. And then what you can earn, you can just earn very little, peanuts. $5, $2, $3, $10 here and there. But if you want to start making, get to the point you start to make $500, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $10,000 per month, my friend, you need to acquire an in-demand digital skill. An in-demand digital skill once and for all. Now, this is like the bull, taking a bull by the horn. This is the truth. This is something you have to do. So look at the whole truth. Sit down and acquire a skill in the next 3 months, in the next 90 days, and you see how your income will drastically change. This is the truth. So stop looking for no experience, no skill, just with your phone. Everybody who is making money as remote worker, every remote worker, every freelancer who is making a lot of money and is going to be doing that for a long period of time, sustainably, continuously, has a high level digital skill. Let no one deceive you. This is just the truth. So once you've gotten to this phase, this is the phase 1. Then we're going to be moving on to phase 2. So that's the end of phase 1. Is the phase when you find out your interests, find out your abilities, acquire your skill, practice your skills, start working for free. And so that is the first phase. This is going to happen in the first 30 to 90 days of you actually looking to get a remote job. Seriously, at this point, forget about making money. This is the foundational part, and please don't skip this part. So now we're going to be moving on to phase 2. So phase 1, you are on the race with a lot of people. So many people are going to be taking the same courses that you're taking. Many people are going to start this journey with you. But the point where you now become one of the top 1% in your industry is determined by how well you do in phase 2. So let's talk about phase 2 is how to become a top remote job candidate. So just like I said before, practice every day, and I mean it with everything that I'm saying. It's something that I still practice till this moment. Like once I'm getting started with something new, or I'm going into anything new, I start to do that thing every day in the next 90 days, because I'm aiming for the first 100 days, because that is how you can get enough data to before you can access and evaluate and say, okay, this thing, is it working, is it not working, what do I need to change? If you don't have data, there's nothing you can actually do. So that is why it is important to practice your skill every day, at least every working day, right? So that is the first thing. So the next thing is, once you start to practice your skill, you find someone that you can work with for free. You find someone who will say yes to you. We'll go into details how you get your first client to say yes to you. The next thing, you want to create a live portfolio. Now, when you talk about portfolio, there are two ways I like to look at it. So one is creating a live portfolio. The second one is creating a case study. Now your live portfolio is something that is going to be showing you results and data in real time. So you don't have to be like checking and everything. So what would I mean? So let's say you are a content writer. So I love to say content writer because I'm a writer. So let's say that you're a content writer, you just finished taking, or a copywriter, you just finished taking your copywriting course, you're getting started, you're practicing every day, you found your first client, you're working for free right now. You want to create a live portfolio. What do I mean? You want to start to write copies, you want to create a swipe file, or you want to start to write short form copies. You want to go on platforms like LinkedIn, like X, or whatever social media platform you like, and start to actually do the work. Start to actually talk about what you're doing, walk people through your process. That is the way you get live data, you get live portfolio, because you are seeing the data, how people respond, and that is also can also be a shortcut for you to land your first job or even your first client. It is very important. So I do not mean, like, when I mean putting yourself out there and actually having a live portfolio, I'm not even talking about dancing on TikTok. You can be very professional. This is what you do. You can show up online as a graphic designer. This is how you create graphics, this is how you create logos, blah blah blah, how to do all of those things behind the scenes. This is what you did for this client and the results that you have gotten. You want to put that out live. It will bring opportunities that you never imagined. Like, this is very very important. So this is what I call a live portfolio. So it's not really like your regular social media, because here you want to talk about work, you want to talk about what you're doing, what you're building, the results that you're getting. Yeah, this is what you want to be talking about. This, you want to just keep up, put your work out. So if you're a graphic designer, for instance, you want to create a profile on platforms like Behance, you want to put in your digital footprints there, you want to create designs, you want to put it there, you want to, be on stock image websites, all of those stuff. You want to make sure that you are creating something online that people can see. Is a portfolio, but it's live. Because the thing about live portfolio is that there is auto update, and it just give you that sport, like that urge, that nudge to actually just put something out there, unlike like the regular portfolio website that you manually, after you finish a client, you manually have to go there and talk about what you did, and you may not be able to update. That is the importance of having a live portfolio. Then you also need to have your regular portfolio, like where your portfolio website or your portfolio that you can just send across to a client. Now, why do you have to have these two portfolios? Now, this other portfolio, I call it the case study portfolio. Now, you don't just want to show your work, because that's what the person will see, that all that on your live portfolio. You also want to tell the story, the problem that you solve for your business, the problem they had, how you solve the problem, and the result they got. So these three things are the things that you both capture in your portfolio. Very, very important. So yeah, this is a sample of a portfolio that I created, a portfolio template that I created. I created it with Notion so that anybody can just get right into it and just start using it. So I'll drop a link to it in the description. So this is what, and this is like my life portfolio. I have an account on Medium, so that's where I write a lot of stuff. So you get to see my mindset, how I think about content, how I think about writing, like on my work as a writer. So I have both a life portfolio and a case study portfolio, and even my personal website is like a case study portfolio. How I work, the results I've gotten, and how I get the results, and how I can replicate the same results for whoever is reaching out. So like, these are the things you want to have, because you have to blow your trumpet, right? You have to show people that you can actually do the work they are looking to pay you to do. So that is why you track results. This is how you become the top 1% job candidate. So once you get your first few clients, your first free clients, you get your other clients, you want to start to create, or even if you are working for free or you're just documenting your process at the moment, you want to create a live portfolio, you want to create a case study portfolio, because businesses do not hire experience, they hire solutions. So it's not really about how many years of experience you have, or how have you been doing this. I told you, like, my first remote job I got, international remote job, I haven't worked remotely in that capacity. I have not worked remotely before. I've only worked like full-time 9 to 5 in my local environment. But I was able to get this job not because I have years and years of experience, but because of the solutions, what I have done before prior to this time. So this is what businesses hire for. Nobody really cares about how many years of experience. It's the results that you've gotten. So you want to be able to show the results in your life portfolio and also in your case study portfolio. Yeah. So now we are moving on to phase 3. Phase 3. So phase 3, we're going to be talking about where to find remote job. Now, this is one of the questions a lot of people ask me. Oh, Rita, where can I find remote job? So I'm going to be walking you through this strategy that I think works. I've gotten remote jobs. I've helped a lot of people land international remote job, freelance gigs. So this is what works from data. So first of all is the first place to find international remote job if you are completely starting from point zero. So this is after you have acquired the skill, you've passed the phase one, after you have maybe work for free, practice your skill, you have your portfolio, your case study portfolio, and your life portfolio. It's time to start going job hunting, to go into the market and actually find clients. Now, the first thing the first thing is to actually create visibility. Now, hold on. Before you get scared, I'm like, oh, I don't want to stay in front of the camera. I don't like social media. I can't post online and all of that. Now, when we talk about creating visibility, it is a broad terminology. So, first of all, the goal of visibility is that you are found by people who need your solutions. First of all, who are the people who need your solutions? So, first is if business people. So, if depending on the skill or the service that you are rendering. So first of all, the first place to create visibility is marketplaces. Now, marketplaces like Upwork and Fiverr are amazing places for you to go and build visibility. First of all, I'm not even talking about now to start pitching clients and all of that. Creating a profile is a first step to creating visibility online if you are starting from zero. People have actually landed gigs from Google. Someone searches for content writer in Lagos and someone's profile or Upwork profile pops up. They click on it, they go on Upwork, send the person a message, and that's it. Like, it's just as simple as that. That's why you must be visible on the internet. So it's not always about going to TikTok and creating a video. That there's a place for that also. But if you're starting right now, I want to tell you what you can do right now without any roadblock. Go on freelance marketplaces, Upwork, Fiverr, create a profile. There are also lots of marketplaces depending on your industry. There are niche marketplaces for writers, for different, just search. You will find different marketplaces. You want to create a profile so that anybody searching for your skill or services can easily find you. And all of this information is also what we even help. Some people have found me through AI by having a conversation with ChatGPT. Somehow they recommended me and they found me. That is because there's the data and somewhere I'm available somewhere online. I've made there just that visibility has to be there first of all. And this is how you can go about it. So create visibility. Go and create a profile, an account on marketplaces, niche marketplaces. Just let your profile be in the places that it should be in the matters. Then secondly, you want to create an account on LinkedIn. So when it comes to job search, searching for jobs, searching for an opportunity, I think being on LinkedIn is non-negotiable. Like, it depends on your skill set and the services you are offering, but it's very, very important to actually be visible on LinkedIn because that is the platform that has like the highest number of businesses, professionals, decision makers all in one place active. That is where they are most active. I understand that your industry might be different. Maybe if you are in the beauty, aesthetic, travel, Instagram might be a good place. But yeah, generally, LinkedIn is a great place. So you want to create an account on LinkedIn and you want to be able to optimize your profile. I have loads of videos about how to go about LinkedIn and all of that. So I'm going to put the link to the videos in the description below so that you can go check it out. So another place to find remote jobs is actually job websites. But I really don't like to talk about job websites a lot because I believe it doesn't really work for beginners so much. If you are, especially now, 2026, if you are starting from the beginning, maybe just your first time, it's a lot harder for you to land your first international remote job as a beginner via remote job website. However, it is not impossible. I don't like to eliminate options totally. It is not impossible. It is doable. One of my first jobs the first interviews I got with a business in the UK was my first time, and I saw that opportunity on a job board. But I will emphasize that it's very important to go on a niche job board that are like maybe for writers or for marketing. You understand, like something that is very niche, or even if it's not niche by your skill or the services that you provide, if it is niche by what you're doing. What do I mean? So there are job boards like remote job that only collates remote anywhere jobs, or remote job for Nigerians, or remote job for Africans, or remote jobs like entry level remote jobs, like one that pay $500 to $1,500 or $2,000. Like that's the kind of job that they post there. I think that'd be a great place to start. And you might be asking, do I have a recommendation? Of course, I do have a recommendation, and I'll recommend you going to euremote.com. euremote.com is one of my favorites. I love that platform because you get to see international remote jobs, adverts, jobs that you can do as a Nigerian, because we have the same time zone with the EU. So you're not going to have that time zone clash. And most of the jobs, they are legitimately unique, and they're jobs that you can easily get, because most people in the EU do not really have a problem working with Nigerians. From my experience personally, and from what I have seen. So EU Remote is a great place to check. I also want to check out Inclusively Remote. These are the two platforms that I actually can say 100% you should go check out if you are looking to land a remote job via website. So these are the ones I can vouch for 100%. If you're a Nigerian, you will see international job you can work for anyway. So because most of the general job sites like remote.co, remote.uk, all of those kind of job websites, when you get there, most of the jobs, even working nomads, most of the jobs are actually remote in US, remote in UK. So you have to filter, and you spend a lot of time trying to figure out the ones that are remote from anywhere. But that is the time that platforms like Inclusively Remote will save you from, and EU Remote. But Inclusively Remote, the caveat is that it's not free. So you have to pay just very small amounts of money per month to subscribe to actually find the job and apply to it. And if I can say, I say it's worth it, because you see unique jobs that pay $1,000, $1,500 for newbies. Like even with one experience, I've seen jobs there with zero experience required for sure. So that's what you should check out if if you just prefer to work with job websites. So that is number two. What second way you can find international remote job? Then third way is search. This is like what I prefer to do, because my first remote job, my first major international remote job I got with a brand in the EU. I actually used this method. I searched. And where did I search? Very simple. I searched on Google. So at that time, that was like 2022, thereabout. I've not heard anybody talking about remote jobs. Something that came to me, like, after I resigned from my 9 to 5 job and got fired, story for another day, I decided I wasn't going to work like locally. I was never going to do a 9 to 5 again. I just wanted to do my own thing. And I know that I needed money. I'm like, okay, let me start. Let me look at other companies. So nobody has said, I just decided to do that. And I searched for hiring content writer on Google. I was just scrolling through the results. I saw some interesting opportunities. I clicked on it. I applied. And that was how I landed my first international remote job. And I was paid, in dollars. I made my money, and that was it by search. So after that time, I've done that many times, and I've gotten amazing opportunities just by searching. There is a lot on the internet that people will not see. It's not everything is not captured on job websites. You might just search your way into an opportunity. Just a couple of months ago, I did a search, and I found myself on a website that are looking to pay, like, just for people to share their experience about remote job, pay $100 per article per story. So there are just a lot of opportunities if you search. Google is your friend, so use Google, use AI tools. You'll be amazed at the opportunities you can get while searching. And I talk about this in detail in my course, the Beyond and Above Remote Job Search and Application Strategy. I talk about all of this detail. So I'll put a link to the description in that course, and I'll also walk you through what the course is all about at the end of the video. So yeah, search is a big method. This is my top method, and I really recommend search. The next thing is communities. Communities are a great way to land international job, great opportunities that nobody, without hustle, without competition. Now, let me tell you my experience about communities. So there are a lot of communities like Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, even niche communities. Let me shock you. Do you know that some of the apps and tools you're using have communities? Have you checked? So if you look at all the apps, the tools, whatever that you are using. They ask most of them, a lot of them, especially if they're international owned apps and platforms, they usually have communities. And in those communities, you have people that will likely need your skill and services. So I got an opportunity from the US being in a community. I wasn't even supposed to be in that community. My friend paid for a tool and it was added to a community, and this like community of niche site owners, business owners, and I just sent a message. People needed writing services and send the message, and someone said yes, and that was how I reached out and had to talk via email. Like it can be as simple as that. But even Facebook groups, there are Facebook groups that I've shared a lot of times in this group, and even in my course that you can go to find out the communities you can go and you see people and you can reach out. But the thing with communities is that you have to be a helpful member of that community. Don't just go straight to pitching. When people ask questions, answer respectfully, solve problems, and then you will need it to go further or help them solve that problem. And that is how you can, get opportunities. Another another thing to do, you can easily do. Another place, a place to find international remote job is actually through cold outreach. Yeah, I know people do not like cold outreach. I understand that 100%. But cold outreaches actually work. So the reason why people are quite skeptical about cold outreaches is because they don't do it rightly, right? A lot of people do not know how to go about reaching people, sending cold emails, and this is what I have talked about in detail in my course, the Beyond and Above Remote Job Strategy. I'm going to make a lot of reference to that because I put in my best into that digital product. So cold outreaches. So I'd be like, where can I? Cold outreach is about just reaching out to business directly and saying, this is what I can offer and this is how I can help you. This is what I can offer. You find them, you pitch your offer, they like it, they move on to the next level. They don't like it, out of the window. But I feel like it's a great way. I have personally sent code outreaches and they worked a lot. And I feel like code outreaches are not bad, are not dead on their own. But if you combine it with other methods to actually finding remote job, it works like your success rate to be higher. For instance, if you combine it with job websites, so if you go to job websites, instead of just applying for the job, you can take it a step further and look at the person, maybe look for the founder, the co-founder, the decision maker, or the recruiter, and then pitch your services, your skill and services. Most people applying for jobs will not do that because most people do the spray and pray method. But if you're going to take it a step further to actually reach out, you are more likely to land in the opportunity. Like this is a secret that I'm sharing with you. So this cold outreach method, reaching out, you have to pair it with all of this method. Even when you search, you have to reach out. And there is a way to reach out with value. See, the truth is that when you're reaching out with value, when you're starting out, you have to work for free. You have to do things first. You see, the only way to receive is by giving. You have to give first before you can think of receiving. That's just how to build trust because someone doesn't know you before. That's how to build upfront trust and to make them say yes to you. The goal, like I said, the goal is for them to actually say yes to you. So yeah, that is cold outreach. So these are like the broad ways, top 4 ways to actually get where to find places to how to find remote jobs. Because it's not even really about where, it's about the how. So and these are the how, like realistically. But another thing, I want to introduce you to a concept I call tool stacking. So tool stacking is a process of actually finding the strategies, like the how strategy I just talked about now. Now finding the strategy and how to actually stack them up so that you can land high paying jobs. So most times some people say, okay, I just want to go find job website, top 10 websites to find remote job, or I just want to go to communities, or I just want to do cold email. So for every skill, let me talk, for instance, as a writer, if I want to actually land a remote job from zero, starting from the beginning, I'm going to take the route of tool stacking. So now, the first thing I'll do is actually go and create an account on freelance marketplaces. I'm just going to ensure that my profile is top notch, it's optimized, use the right keywords, all of that. That's what I'm going to do. The next thing I'm going to do is to create a live portfolio. Creating a live portfolio, I'm going to actually go ahead and pick one platform. It might be a social media platform, it might be a niche platform that I'm going to actually be putting out my work for the next 90 days. That is what I'm going to do. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to also create a LinkedIn account. So now my LinkedIn profile can be my live portfolio. So whilst I am doing all of that, I begin to track my results and I start to outreach. Once I see people click on my profile, it goes down in the DM. The DM is where things actually happen. People do not say this a lot, but that's the truth. So you have to go find, you find people that you think are going to be interested in your skill and services. You have to outreach them. You have to reach out to them that, hey, hello, this is what I can, this is how I can help you. Can we get on a call? Can we chat? Can we, that is it. So I will start to outreach. The next thing I want to do is to build a personal brand. Very important. So you can also deputize for like this life portfolio and personal brand. These are the ways that I'm going to stack up the tools that will help me land a remote job. So it's about knowing how to place which one, everything works together. The job website. So what I'll do these days, if I go on a job website and I find the job, I'm not just going to click apply. I'm going to actually search, which is another method. So you can see how I'm stacking it. I go to job website, I see a job, I search. When I search for the founder or the co-founder. Then I provide value. I outreach them. Then when I outreach them, I can now send them my life portfolio or send them my case study portfolio, do the work, and that is how you launch. So it's just about stacking up these things, and this is actually how it works. So why I will always encourage building a life portfolio or a personal brand, because it opens you up to more opportunities. Like you don't know every job that exists. You might not even be able to find on job websites. So even if you search for it, they may not be able to find that brand or that business you want to work with or that dream job. Sometimes they just find you. And the way to make that possible is when you are out there. If you're not out there, things cannot find you. Like that's just how it works. Things cannot find you. So instead of chasing butterflies, why not build a garden? This is what building a life portfolio or a personal brand does for you 100%. 100%. Because when you have a garden, you have the butterflies, you have the fruits, you have the garden, you have the seed, you have everything. So why have one thing when you can have everything? Why chase one thing when you can have everything? So like this is the phase 3, right, of this whole process of actually landing a job. This is what makes the difference. This is what makes the difference. So another thing is the application process. The application process is one of the most important process, because you can get an opportunity, but how do you grab this opportunity? How do you take hold of it and leverage it for yourself in a way that is going to work for you? So that is what I have discussed extensively about this in my course. I call it the Beyond and Above Remote Job Application Strategy. Yep. So let me just walk you through the course. So this is the course. It's a non-chaotic way to land international remote jobs. So this course, I actually made this from a review, from a message that someone sent me. Like they finally landed their first remote job, and I was excited because the person was in my community, my free community. But my community is no longer existing because I couldn't keep up with the demand. There was a lot of things to do. But however, if you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me via email or the form on my website. The link to it is on my channel, description, so you'll find it there. So let me quickly walk you through this course. So this is the course. So when you buy this course, you get a free ebook. Like this is like the most affordable thing. This is everything I have said here on this free course. You get it even for free on the internet. Like you even get it for free, almost for free, because I'm going to be giving you a free ebook. And the good thing is that I'm not even just giving out this course. So for the next 1 week, if you are watching this free course right now, I'm going to be offering this course, the free ebook, the portfolio template I talk about, my updated CV for remote jobs, and all of those stuff. I'm going to be offering it for just 10,000 naira. Now, this cost, everything costs far more than that, but just for to help you get started, so that you don't just watch this free course and there's no action plan, you don't know what to do next. So that is why I'm bundling all of these things together and offering it for 10,000 naira. So if you want to access that, I'm not just even going to drop a link. If you want to access that, I will drop a link in the description. I just, not for everybody, just for a few people in the first 1 week. I'll drop a link in the description that will, tell you what to do next and how you can access this opportunity right now. It's something that you do not want to miss. You do not want to take this for granted. Seriously. You do not want to take this for granted. Yeah, so this is what it's about. So this is everything, like a majority of everything you need to know if you are looking to actually land an international job. you know so I want to take you through something that I feel like is very important in how to apply for a remote job. So the first thing, if you are starting from zero, is do not consider money first, please, because it's important you build your skill first. It's important that you are sure that you know what you were doing 100% before you start to talk about money. Lead with value. So when you are reaching out to somebody, don't always be, oh, I don't want people to take me for, I don't want to use them to use me, or I don't want, if you're working for free, I'm just working, I'm volunteering, I'm not earning anything, I don't want people to use me. The truth is, normalize being used, because it's someone that has value that can be used. And this is the only way you can get data. I have done a lot of things for free, like I said before, like, please. And then doing the work. You cannot, like, I don't know. I'm surprised at people who actually say, oh, I'm a graphic designer. Okay, when was the last time you designed anything? 2 months ago, 3 months ago. Oh, I'm a writer. When was the last time you wrote? 3 weeks ago. If you are actually what you are going to be doing that thing almost every day. I think at the beginning phase, you have to be doing that thing every day. And research is a big thing. I told you that one of the first ways I landed my first international remote job was through search. So spend your time actually searching for the right people to follow, like people that are in your industry. If you're a content writer, you want to follow content writers who are getting international remote jobs, who are earning a lot freelancing, because you want to pick their brains. You want to know how they got to where they're going. You want to follow them. You want to know how they want to be in that environment. It's very important to help your mindset, help you know what is possible, the gaps you are missing, and how the loops and how to actually fill those gaps. Another thing is, it is one thing to, I've talked about how to actually land international remote job, where to find these jobs. But when you start to land international job, I'm going to give you a secret how to keep a client, a business. Now, the truth is that people make decisions from their emotions and then justify it by logic. That is how it works. And even the interview, the job search phase, is quite emotional too. So my experience working with a recruitment company, both local and international, and then being in this remote job space, talking about it a lot, I've gotten a lot of experience, and I try to apply this even when I'm actually reaching out for an opportunity. So people do not know that when you apply for a job and you get an interview invite, like 50% away from actually working your dream job and earning a lot of money. But another thing, to ensure that you actually get that job, everything lies in that interview phase and what happens after the interview. So even if you have a good interview, always prepare for your interview. So after the interview, you want to create that first impression. So first of all, don't forget, this is a trick I want to give you. It works for me, and I get to tell some people. Many people don't know this. Always say thank you. Always reach out to the business owner, the founder, the recruiter, whoever is in charge of this. Always reach out after the interview to show your gratitude, to say thank you, or to go back and say, oh, this was a nice experience. Thank you so much. This is what this is how I would like to move forward. Oh, I did this for based on what you talked about. I'm giving you a trick based on when you get an interview invite, based on what we talked about during the interview. I decided to create this thing. I decided to walk you through my first 30 days on the job. I decided to walk you through the process I'm going to use to move whatever. This is how you have to do and send it to that person. Now this puts you above every other person that has attended that interview. I've done this and it was very emotional. I actually even created a banner, a flyer, and said thank you and said, oh, this is what, and reach out in such an emotional way. People are human beings. Recruiters, business owners are human beings, and humans respond to love. Humans have emotion. They are not just all business and robots and money and all of that. They have emotions, and if you can tap into people's emotion, you can get them to say yes to you, even when you do not might not even like be 100% deserving of that yes, but your attitude, your willingness to work, like the way you just express love and participation can mean everything, can replace your attitude, your character can 100% take the place of skill, because any skill can be learned, but that's right attitude, the character cannot always be learned. So this is a secret. So before, when you apply to a job, before the interview, prepare for the interview, do the work, do something, have something to show, walk them through a slide. This is what I have done. Oh, if you're interviewing for a social media management, I created this content, create a sample video. Don't ever reach out to a business without something to show for it, without value. Every other person is going to be attending the interview to answer questions. Come with something. Every other person will not come with something. So you ensure that you come with something, do the work and show them. Okay, before, oh, do you mind I walk you through something I created? Or you are even pitching when everybody's applying for a job, you are applying with the work, saying, oh, I wrote this article for you, for the brand, for the business. Can you take a look at it while you are even applying? Every other person is answering, oh, what's the name, what's your phone number, and you are coming with value. What do you think you are going to give an opportunity to? You. So if you are looking for your first client, your first client is actually the person who posted a job on a job board. So I think that job boards are blessing. Even jobs that are already expired, there's a way you reach out and person will be moved to that, oh, we need to get this person on board. It's about how, in fact, you just get all of this information. There are opportunities. The truth is that there are international opportunities, there are job opportunities everywhere. The problem is most people are not skilled, they cannot get results, they cannot solve the problem, and they don't know how to reach out. So if you can master all of these things, you are going to get jobs. You are even going to start rejecting jobs. Like, this is the truth about landing remote jobs. Many people will not tell you about. So stop looking for top 10 websites to find remote job, top whatever website to find remote job. Jobs are everywhere. Start thinking about the skill. What problem can I solve? And how to become the best person at solving this problem. That is what makes the difference. That is literally what makes the difference. Thank you for watching this video. And if you're interested, thank you for watching this video. And I'm going to be walking you through, I'm going to be putting out all of my resources to help you take the steps right now for a fraction of what it will cost normally. So if you're interested, click on the link below. This was a nice time, and I hope that you implement everything. This was a nice time. I hope that you implement everything that we have talked about. I'm excited. I can't wait for you to land remote job opportunities. And if you have any question, please let me know in the comment section, and I'll be excited to respond to your comment. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.